Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Wednesday, April 10th, and we are here trying to help you make better, different, maybe more nuanced financial decisions. We like to throw away the rules of thumb and instead talk to you directly about what's going on for you. And that way we can kind of customize the advice that we are procuring. And, I have to say that both Mark and I are both certified financial planners. We don't do it for a living anymore. But having that kind of background and studying this world, it can sometimes jade you a little bit because, we take for granted sometimes like, the numbers don't work or this, that, and the other thing. And the numbers are only part of it. All right. You and your desires in your financial life, what you want to do, that guides what your advice should be. And so I want to remind everyone out there listening, we don't care what you have, how much, how little. If you've got issues, you've got questions, all you need to do is go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and let us know if you'd like to join us on the air live. And today we are joined by Andy, who's on the line from the Mid-Atlantic. Hello, Andy. How are you?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for talking with me.
Sure. What's going on? How can we help you?
Well, I laid it out there and I realized I don't have it in front of me. But I laid out my money to right there. I'm a 56-year-old woman who experienced a reduction in force in January of 2021, only to become rehired in December of 2023. Every website I go to tells me I am not making enough, and I've been single most of my life, and I'm kind of anxious about all that.
All right, let's walk you through this. So first of all, congratulations on getting rehired. That's amazing. How much are you earning now? About?
It's roughly about $170 a year.
And is that good for you? Do you feel comfortable with that level? You're supporting yourself? You feel okay?
Yes, it's the most I've ever made, actually.
Oh, that's great. So when you wrote to us, you said you have real estate that's worth $250,000 and that there's a $30,000 mortgage that's remaining. And is that your primary residence?
Yes.
Okay. And you want to stay there?
Yes, so much, pretty much.
Maybe. We'll see. Okay. Are you paying off that $30,000 mortgage faster? Are you trying to attack that? Is it a high interest rate mortgage or not?
It's not high. I got it at a good time. I only am doing it, and I don't know much about money, but I'm only doing it because somebody said they thought it would be better for my taxes to have the loan still there because I have literally no other debt.
Okay. Well, it could be. It's just that if there's not a lot of principal that's left on the loan, the way that mortgage interest works is a mortgage deductions work is that the mortgage interest is deductible, not the principal. And my guess is you probably have a lot of principal at this point, not a lot of interest. But that's okay. I'm not in a hurry for you to actually have the mortgage paid off. So in addition to the money that is the equity in your home, you have some cash in the bank. You said it's over $300,000. So how did that accumulate?
Because I am an anxious person. I've always just saved.
And you feel safe with it in the bank, really?
I saved, and then given my age, I had a mother pass recently, and the children got the what was left from the estate. So that also contributed to about a third of it.
Okay. So you have $360,000. And is that in CDs? Is it in a high yielding savings account? Tell me a little bit about where the money is inside the bank.
Oh, everything you say sounds good. I just have it in a credit union account.
Okay.
I'm just saving it.
But you're not averse to maybe buying a CD or something, right?
I would take any advice you think.
Okay, good. Excellent. When you worked previously, when you had the reduction in force, did you have a retirement plan with that job?
Yes.
So you have an old 401k or a 403b?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know about how much is in there now?
Much to, I think, somebody's chagrin, I have about 292,000 in one 401k.
Okay.
Something like I think that equates to it, a Schwab something that is roughly $60,000.
Like an IRA account? Just a plain old
Yeah.
IRA? Okay.
Yeah.
In your new job, do you have a retirement plan available to you?
Yeah, I was, because I just started, I was counting that into that 291.
Okay. So, and how much are you putting into that retirement account now?
I asked for the maximum.
Oh, good. Okay. So you're making 170, you're putting the max into your retirement account, so you're going to start cranking on that. And the rest of the money you can live on because you don't have any other debt, there's nothing else that's going on. Is there anything you think you might need some of that cash for? Do you need a new car? Do you have any other obligation that you think you might need to address in, say, let's call it in the next year or two?
In that 360, I
Yeah.
created actually a separate account. I've always heard that you should try to get a new car every 10 years. So I made a little account for $35,000 for a new car if I get one. So
Okay.
that's part of it.
Okay. That's fine. You're making a lot of money. You're doing what you need to do. I know you had this huge setback in that a reduction in force in your 50s is no fun, and I get that. But it sounds like you really are on your feet. And how do you like the new job?
I like it. There's a reason why they're paying that much.
Mean like it's hard, like they're on top of you a little bit?
They are really, I think I let you know, I struggle with anxiety. So it's hard. Some things have happened there. And I've just tried to get along with them, get along with it. But, there's always that feeling of like, man, what if it happens again? Since there was a 2-year time that basically 2-year time where I was without a job.
I get that. I totally get that. How can you not go through something like that and not feel a little bit like have some misgivings? So I think, first of all, congratulations. You're in your new place, your new job. You're putting money into retirement. Do you have kids, by the way? Any children?
I don't.
Okay. So, look, first of all, you're 56 years old. You're hopefully going to work until your full retirement age, which is 67. You'll have Social Security. I'm wondering, do you have a sense of how much it would cost you to just live your life, what your expenses are on a monthly basis? And also, please, I don't mean like live like a pauper, like live, have a good, you do the things you want to do.
Probably comfortably. I thought about this on a year. I could live anywhere between $58,000 and $60,000 a year.
That's great. Because if you work until let's say 10 more years or something, right? And you are entitled to Social Security, you'll have a chunk of money from Social Security. You said that, this is the most you've ever made. Have you ever looked into your Social Security record to see what you could be entitled to at 67?
They said, if you still have Social Security, then
you will.
They say that it would be $1,688 a month.
All right, so it'll be $1,700 a month. Look, the longer you stay on the job, the more that will go up, right? Because the current job will start raising your average 40 quarters. That's how Social Security works. They say, well, what were your average highest 40 quarters? And so it could go up from there. But let's say that by the time you get to Social Security, you're at $2,000 a month. Then what we need to figure out is how much you need to save. And what we need to really be doing is kind of a twofold approach. One is you're doing it already. You're putting money into your retirement account. Amazing. That's great. And if you can put the maximum in and still have, life is pretty good, meaning the maximum, when I say a lot of people hear maximum, they think up to the match. But the maximum right now is $23,000. And because you're over the age of 50, it's another $7,500. And so that means that, if you can put in this $30,000 every year into retirement for the next, say, 10 years, that's going to go a long way to help you out. It's awesome. So great. That's number one. You're doing it. The second thing is I would love for you to try to get some of this cash to work better for you. And I understand that you have a little of a tentative nature. You want to make sure that at the very least that a good chunk of that is available to you. But could you be willing to part with some portion of that let's call it 300,000 because you've got some money earmarked for the car, but could some of that money go into a longer term, say, stock market account, a blended account of stock and bond, would you feel comfortable with that? Or do you say like, absolutely not, it has to all be really safe? You tell me, what's your preference?
Again, I am a little anxious, so I just always heard things that, what if the stock crashes again? What if this happens? But is there a thought process, given that I've told you I've been out of a job for almost 2 years until I get landed, that maybe from that 360 I should take like $100K and put it somewhere? Or is
I'm thinking this. I'm thinking that you've got money in a credit union. Ask your credit union what they would pay you for CDs. And the reason why I think a CD could be really helpful for you is that right now, while interest rates are still high, you could lock in. Hopefully, I don't know, like you don't have to do it at your credit union, but credit unions tend to have very good rates on their CDs. But if you could take, let's say, $50,000, okay, and you could say, I want that in a 5-year CD, and another 50 that goes into a 4-year CD, and another 50 in a 3-year CD, and you have 200 of it that is like basically available to you. And then the rest of it that you could maybe put it into, at a Schwab account where you would just say, I want half, like you could just choose like what's called almost like a balanced approach. Half of it goes, let's say $50,000 or $80,000, half into a stock market index, half into a bond market index. And that's it. And you allow yourself every time that CD comes due, you look at your situation or you give us a holler back and you say, do I need this money or not? Am I more comfortable because I'm a year closer to even thinking about retirement? Should I put this in the Schwab account at this point? And I think that because the RIF was so recent for you, okay, and this 2-year period of being out of work is so recent that we just have to rebuild your confidence that you're going to keep your job. I think that having what we call a laddered CD, a little bit of money at different intervals, would help you regain that confidence. Do you think you could sign on to doing something like that, Andy?
You're going to laugh, but right after this, I'm going to look up what a CD is. Okay,
a certificate of deposit. I'm going to just define it for you. So a certificate of deposit is essentially a bank guarantee that you're going to give them a certain amount of money for a period of time, and they're going to pay you interest for that period of time. And that's it. That's all it is. It's almost like having that savings account, but it is not liquid. So that's why you're getting paid a higher rate. So you don't get to just take it whenever you want. And the other thing that I would ask you to talk to the credit union about is that whatever money you have in the credit union is hopefully in what's called a high yielding savings account, meaning that you're earning a higher amount of interest than just, say, a checking account. And all we're trying to do is create a plan for you where you have some money that has already, you've paid tax on already. You just need to make it safe and secure for you while you're in this period of, again, getting your confidence back, earning this money. And at the same time, you would be putting money into the retirement plan through work. Make sure that that's invested. That doesn't just go into a money market. So, if they've got a target date fund or something like that, you could use that. Is the money that's in the retirement plan in the current job, do you know where the retirement plan is held?
Fidelity.
Okay. So if Fidelity has something that is called either a lifestyle fund or a target date fund, they probably have funds that say the Fidelity Boo 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 Fund 2035, 2040, those numbers that come after it. You could use those, and all that does is it targets a date at which you think you would retire. So for you, it might be 2035. You use the 2035 fund because that's, 11 years from now. That's when you're thinking about retirement. And you can just put all of your money in that fund and make it easy for yourself. And put all of your contributions in there and all the current money in there and get yourself rebuilt. And I think that that's really all you need to do. Those are like when you've had a setback, I don't want you to get so nuts, because what'll happen is you'll go into some retirement calculator and it'll say you're failing, you're doing this, don't worry about that right now. We just need to get you it's like we want your sea legs back. You're working again. You're getting used to having the money. If you put the maximum in, again, $30,500 for this year, that's a lot of money you're saving. And we get the money that's in the credit union working better for you, moving from, say, a savings account to some just to have some certificates of deposit where you tie your money up for, say, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, a little bit at a time, and you get paid a higher interest rate for that. And I think if you do that, that's all I would ask. And then you get back in touch with us at the end of the year and we see how you're doing.
If I was devil may care and I thought, well, just going to put this 100K into the 2035 plan, do you think that would return better than the CDs?
Well, the thing is, yes, I do think over the course of the next 10 years, if you invest the money and you said, I'm just going to put money, $100,000, you'd have to put it into not the credit union. You couldn't put it into your retirement account. It would have to be a separate account. So you have an account at Schwab already. So either at Schwab or Fidelity, you could open up what's called an individual brokerage account. And yes, do I think you would do better over the next 10 years? Absolutely. But it's going to be a seesaw ride for you. And I want you, what I'm fearful of on someone in your situation is that you do this, and after you do it, the market goes down, you freak out, and you just abandon ship. And I don't want you to do that. If you could do it for $100,000 and you could really say, I don't care, I'm just going to let this be, I'm going to shut my eyes, I won't look at it for another 10 years or 2 years, then I think you'd be fine.
I really appreciate this. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Check back in with us. I really would like to hear more from you. So listen, gang, when you have a setback, you go easy. You be nice to yourself. You give us a holler, and hopefully we can help you out. So all you need to do is go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write a note, let us know if you'd be willing to come on the air. And we're here for you, right? Whether it's a job loss, maybe it is the loss of a partner's income, maybe it is simply that, you got divorced and it was a financial hit. If you're looking to rebuild or even restart, we want to hear from you. Just let us know what's going on and how we can help you out. While you're on the website, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. And, of course, check out the YouTube show, Jill on Money, powered by The Compound. You can subscribe to Jill on Money on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your favorite podcast. Please leave us a rating and review wherever you listen. Try to put your hands metaphorically or maybe physically, as long as you have permission to do so, on someone's back. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.